Hey, this is Lorena, and I wanted to do a doodle challenge with you. Yes, they're back. Yeah, I'm gonna do one this September. Kind of organizing myself. All right, the challenge is back. So when you do this challenge, if you're new to my channel, you go ahead and do the doodle on a piece of paper, and within a month, you also do a doodle or do the doodle itself on a sewing machine or a long arm quilting machine. Join Lorena's Quilting Facebook group if you want to participate in this challenge, because that's where you will post the pictures of your paper doodle and a picture of your sewn doodle. When I post this picture a month from that date, I will do a drawing or a raffle or whatever based on how many people do the doodle, and I will bless you with a blessing, with some fabric, with some thread or something, a notion, and thank you for participating in the doodle challenge. This is really something that I do for me because I am horrible on my domestic sewing machine. Trying to get better at it, and the only way you get better at anything is by doing the thing. So I wanted to bring it back, and I really do hope you participate in the challenge. Some of you who have done the challenge with me have asked me about it. You know, I don't know. Summer was here. It's just, you know, things were a lot calmer in this side of my neighborhood. Okay? So I really do hope you do this with me, and I would love to see your doodle challenge pictures. In this clip of the video, I share with you how you do the arc. I also wanted to share when you're doing the arc, go in one direction, go from left to right, and then as you're doing the repetition of the arc, go ahead and go in the opposite direction. Well, you say, what can the arc do for me? It looks like an insignificant just movement. You do a lot of echoing with this movement. You can, if you know how to do an arc, you will be able to do flowers. It's a big part of quilting. I also recommend, if you're doing this doodle, to go in an upward position and a downward position, because we long arm in all four positions. You long arm right to left, left to right, up, up, from bottom to top and top to bottom. You know what I mean? When you long arm that way. And also when you're going to be sewing on your sewing machine, if you're doing it on your machine, you're going to sew that way. What it looks like on paper, doing the arc on paper, just a simple arc, just a simple movement. And then in this section of the video, I'm going to share with you what it looks like on my sewing machine. Well, don't laugh. Well, I'll be showing you what it looks like on my sewing machine. On my sewing machine, I'm just trying to get used to the movement and the position, and also to control my hands and my fingers, and, well, you know, just trying to control it. So just enjoy the process and do it a couple of times. I recommend you practice this section of the video, you know, a good 5 minutes. It's I'm going to call it the doodle warm-up, okay? The doodle warm-up. In this section of the video, I'm sharing with you how I did it on paper. I'm going to go ahead and do a pebble, and then I'm going to do a couple arcs around the pebble, and that's going to make a pretty little flower. Yeah. Okay, so here you see me with my paper and pencil, and I'm just going and doing arcs around this pebble. It's really simple, and then I arc around those arcs, which is really considered an echo. Here I made an arc and now the pebble, and then made little lines to make it look like the pebble went under another flower. And so here I'm arcing around, and that's how simple this is. And then I went to my sewing machine, which is not so simple. I noticed that the slower I went, the better I did. Also, to try to put your fingers in a triangle position when you're moving on the machine. It takes some practice, guys. This is not that easy. So here you see me fast forwarding the frame so that I don't bore you. And then I start echoing around and kind of giving it a little bit of a better look because it's not as clean as I want it to be. But you know what? My pebbles are getting better. Another thing you can do with this is kind of create a flower with a meander. So you create the flower here, and then you just make kind of like a curved loop and just loop around, and it becomes a fill. Here in this section of the video, I went ahead and I did another pebble, and I did an arc around the pebble, and then I did another arc inside the petal. Not the pebble. Okay, so this is what the flower will look like when you're drawing it or doodling it. I did a pebble, and then I did an arc, and then I arced inside the arc. Then it looks more like a realistic flower, and you just arc within the arc, and then I echo it all the way around. This fill is beautiful, especially when you quilt it. It is easy to make, and it fills a space. I have it on one of my favorite quilts, and it just looks like a flower garden. Now here I'm on my domestic sewing machine. You arc and then pause and then arc inside. I noticed when I did this, if I went slow, I did better. So be patient with yourself. Here's the arc, and then you pause and then create another arc inside your first arc. And just keep playing around and practicing. It does take time. And then after that, I went ahead and I started echoing around this flower. And I think when you echo around this flower or this fill, it looks better. In this challenge, it's like finding different designs and making your own designs, just with the concept of arcs. So integrating an arc into it, you can literally do a circle and then do an arc, and then do another circle. And you can make pebble, you can make a pebble. You can make these as big or as small as you would like. Okay, so this is what the pebble looks like with the arc. I really like this design because you just kind of go back and forth, left to right and right to left. It feels really lovely. Now the issue is when I got it on my regular sewing machine, it didn't quilt as well. I think a lot of it is I don't know how to quilt on my domestic sewing machine with bigger movements. So my arcs looked messy. They were not consistent. I didn't know where to look, and I didn't know where to move my hands. But it's okay. It's a new process. I really do like the design when I doodled it. It just looked horrible when I quilted it. And you could see how wonky my movements are. But I think that if I keep practicing this process, that maybe, I don't know, I'll get the hang of it. I'll know how to move in those bigger movements. I noticed the flowers were easier to do because it's a smaller movement. And here I'm having to move my hands more. So let me share with you what I saw on the floor. A little girl was playing on the floor with chalk. And I remember I saw this beautiful, sweet little design. And it was just really an arc, kind of like an arc, kind of like an S curve, arc. And what you could do here is just echo it. And all this kind of echoing that you're seeing me do is really just short and long arcs. I really do appreciate you watching. If you want to participate in the challenge, please join Lorena's Quilting Facebook group and post a picture of your doodle and post a picture of your sewn doodle on there. And a month from now, I will pick a winner. I appreciate you joining and thank you for watching. Okay, guys. See you later.